Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Dan McKay, the Residual Bulldog. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about why you don't always need to have the entire pie. What's that mean? Stay tuned, find out. Alright, this is Dan McKay, the Residual Bulldog. I appreciate you taking a moment to tune in to this podcast. And today I want to talk about, something that I've noticed it's kind of an ongoing theme within the Residual Bulldog community, in that a lot of the gurus that are out there, whether it's real estate, internet marketing, network marketing, all these different home-based businesses, entrepreneur, solopreneur type businesses, always kind of try to teach you everything so that you can be the expert in everything, which is impossible, by the way. So you can be the expert in everything, and then you have to go do everything all by yourself. But at the end of the day, you get that whole piece of pie. So you get the entire pie, whatever the benefit is at the end, or whatever the negative is at the end, I guess you could say too. So what I want to talk about is that we oftentimes talk about not needing to be the expert in everything. A lot of what I teach in the different trainings and the different programs that we have coming out are a lot more about how do you find experts in different areas and different niches within the field that you are in, people that can go out and do that part of the business so much better than you anyways, that you are going to make up for whatever they cost by having a better project, by having a better outcome, by having better ads for your internet marketing, by having the right people doing the right things within your network marketing business. I always liken it to, I can paint a house, and I bet a lot of you can paint a house too. But it might take me 2 weeks to paint a house, and I'm not going to do as good a job as the person that comes in that's a professional painter that can do it in 3 days. So even though it costs a little bit of money to hire that painter, I should hire that painter. Now, when we're looking at that and we're building our business, whatever that business is, by bringing in these other experts and we start slicing up that pie into smaller and smaller portions, maybe we're taking a little bit less of it, but we're getting rid of so much of the headache. We're getting rid of the headache. We're helping ensure the success of the project. So by getting people that come in and just are really hyper specialized in what they do, you're going to make sure that those particular areas, those niches within that business are getting done to the absolute best of their ability. I look at the internet part of our business right now. So we're really actively growing our internet business right now. If you've been to the Residual Bulldog Facebook page or on any of our stuff, really, you can see that we're starting to make a really big push. And we've got people that we've hired to run Facebook ads. Now, the same people that run our Facebook ads are not the people that write the Facebook ads. It gets that niched, and the people that write the Facebook ads might not even be the person that creates the picture for the Facebook ad. We're just hyper niching. We're finding the people that are the best for each little micro niche within what we're doing. In real estate, I've been doing it for years, and it has worked very, very well, where we find the best designer to design the house. We find the contractors to build the house. We find people that just specialize on finding deals to find us deals. And we just find people that are good at their one thing, and we work with them. It's so much easier than trying to be the expert at everything. And plus, I don't care. You can't be the expert at everything. Go back to that painting example. If somebody paints every single day for months and years and decades, you're not going to be as good as them. If you just decide to go and paint over a weekend, that's ridiculous to think it's even possible. Now, the same thing with becoming a wholesaler or marketing for real estate deals. If you just have a couple hours a day to dedicate to it, while somebody else down the street is doing it for 8 to 10 hours a day, who's going to be better at it? Who's going to get better at it? And that person really wants to do that. They're dedicating their whole life to it. Are they going to find better deals than you too, most likely? Probably. So are you better off going out there and creating your own opportunities through your own sweat, which probably aren't going to be as good, or you just make a phone call, get that person who's already doing it all day, every day anyways, compensate them a little bit, and then go work with them. So, in my opinion, find other people. Find people that are good at what they do. There's so much more money to be made as the person that coordinates the deal, as the person that pulls the strings, than there is as being one of the specialists. So, I was thinking about this a lot over the weekend because I bought a house, and I was going to do a Facebook Live on this house here coming up here. soon. It's just a couple miles away from where I live now. I moved into this neighborhood a few years ago, and I like it out here, but I spent the previous 37 years of my life right in the same little corner of South Minneapolis. I understood that corner of South Minneapolis like the back of my hand. I was on the neighborhood community council board of directors. If you told me a block, I knew houses that were on that block. I knew which coffee shop was around the corner. I know who owned the gas station. I knew everything that there was to know about that neighborhood. And then I moved out here, and as much as I do like it out here, and we're about 30 minutes south of Minneapolis now, I really enjoy it, but I don't know the area very well. So we just bought our first big rehab project out here in my new neighborhood. And I'm really looking forward to doing it, but at the same time, I'm not really looking forward to actually doing the work, if you know what I mean. I put the deal together, and then I started carving up that pie like nobody's business. At first we were just going to put in the money, and we were going to hire people to do everything. And now we've actually got somebody who's helping put in the money. And at the end of the day, we took this deal, which is it's a rehab deal. I'll give you the numbers. We're buying it for $185,000. We are going to put roughly $65,000 into it, getting us close to $250,000, and we believe we'll sell it for $350,000 plus. So, there's a pretty good profit margin there to be had, and I could hire people to do everything, but instead I decided to bring on this additional partner, which I didn't necessarily need to do, but it's carving up the pie a little bit more. But at the same time, by doing it, I don't have to do anything. Unless I feel like driving by there because it's close to my house, I don't have to do a thing. I don't need to go by there. I don't need to think about it. I don't need to help pick out anything. I don't need to do anything. And really, I'm not even putting up the money for it now anymore because we brought in somebody else to put in the money. I don't have to do anything. And I don't want to do anything. So everything I can do to set up income opportunities by working less hours and doing less stuff, that is a win-win to me. Even if it means we're taking less money, cutting up that pie, not taking as much of it, I'm okay with it because it frees me up to go do other stuff. I think back to the first big rehab I did for the sake of doing a rehab for flipping a house. And it was one that I bought over by the University of St. Thomas here in St. Paul, Minnesota. I went to college at the University of St. Thomas. It was right after college. And I just, was just kind of lucky. I didn't even know what I was looking for at the time. But I was a licensed realtor, and a friend of my mom's called and wanted to help her ex-husband get a realtor to sell their house, and they called me. So it was great. So I went over there. Long story short, I ended up making him an offer. I bought the house. I went and did that rehab. I went and spent roughly 3.5, 4 months with my good friend Ryan. We had a blast doing it. But we spent 3.5, 4 months rehabbing that house. Just the two of us. Every single day. Every single day. He would swing by my house around 9, or I'd pick him up. We'd ride over there together, and we would rehab this house. We'd spend all day there, and we would check out, towards the end of the day. Did it all day, 3.5, 4 months. And it ended up turning out pretty well. I was only 23 years old at the time, and I think we made somewhere around $38,000. I made $38,000. I'd been paying Ryan hourly all along, so I didn't have anybody I needed to split that pie up with at the time. But at the same time, so I made $38,000, which was cool at 23 years old. And I really, I spent 3.5, 4 months of doing all that work, plus, some closing time and showing time and all that kind of stuff on either end of the transaction. So money was probably up 6 months, 7 months or so. Property sold relatively quickly. But so I made that $38,000, but I'd spent 3.5, 4 months there all the time. What would it have cost me to hire somebody to do all that? One, if I hired the right people, they probably would have had that house done in 2 months. So I would have saved me on holding costs. Two, what was my opportunity cost that I lost by spending all of that time there? By spending so much time at that property. I gave up 3.5, 4 months. My real estate business went to crap because I wasn't out prospecting. I wasn't out doing all the things that I had done the year before to win the Rookie of the Year honors at my office. I wasn't doing any of that stuff. So I was no longer going out and doing open houses every weekend to attract buyers to go out and build my business. I was really doing nothing. I was just over there. I was working as a laborer. And granted, I was a pretty well-paid laborer for the $38,000 that we made. it's still it. I think my time would have been better spent. I think I could have replaced myself in that situation. Say it would have even cost me, say, $18,000 to replace myself, which I don't think it would have cost that much. But say it did cost me $18,000 to replace myself. I still would have made $20,000, and I would have freed up 3.5, 4 months of my life to go out there and do something else, to create more opportunity, to create more flips for us to do, to create more prospects for my real estate business. There's more money to be made had I not spent so much time there, because when that time period went past and my pipeline was dry because I hadn't been prospecting, I hadn't been working, I hadn't been doing anything to build my real estate business, it's kind of like it ended. We sold the project, and I was sitting there with my hands in my pockets looking around like, what's next? So I encourage you, be the person that puts the deals together. Put the deals together and take less of the pie, but get people who are really, really good at their niches to go out there and do work for you and help you make money. Even if it seems like less money at first, I promise you, there's a lot more money in the long run. So this is one of the topics and conversations we have all the time in the Residual Bulldog group. You can get there by going to FB, like Facebook, FBBulldog.com. That will take you to our group page. Otherwise, you can go to Facebook.com/ResidualBulldogs, like our page, join the group from there as well, ResidualBulldogs.com. And you can get a link to our podcast. We really appreciate it if you hop in there and rate and subscribe to this podcast. It helps us out a lot, and we greatly appreciate it. So with that being said, this is also the first podcast that I've recorded for our YouTube channel. And I would tell you what that channel is, but I don't know right now. So I need to figure out what that link is. But you can check us out on YouTube. Just search for Residual Bulldogs. You'll find us there. We're going to start putting out a lot of content on YouTube. I'm excited about that. Videos from projects, videos of sales blitzes we're doing, all kinds of fun stuff. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you in the group and getting you in the conversation. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.